everyone. We're back. Hello, Daniel.
Hey, what's up?
This time, Gil is the one who's not here. I mean, I don't know what's up with you one take boys, but I'm here every episode. Yeah, we just watched the Alien Earth episode 5. I think this is called In Space No One. Is that really
Wait,
the title? Just In Space No One?
by the way, did you see the title of the next episode?
The Fly?
The Fly. You've seen Breaking Bad, right?
I have, yes. The famous bottle episode, The Fly.
Yes. We're gonna have this episode was kind of a bottle episode. Actually, this was a bottle episode also.
Not really. This is one of my it's hit or miss, but the weirdly placed flashback episode. You occasionally get this in a TV show. I think the most egregious one, and I don't know, were you a Lost fan at all, Daniel?
I was,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Was it? I mean, look, it wasn't terrible. I love Lost. I have all the seasons. Yeah. Post writer strike, it got a little weird, but I think they kind of fixed it toward the end. Maybe not. It's been a while since I rewatched it. But you know, it was a weird decision to one episode before the finale, just do a flashback episode to the smoke monster and his brother like 3,000 years ago, and it's like, oh, like I feel like we could have done this earlier at any point, and then in the end of the episode, you're like, oh, that was the skeletons in the cave in the first season. And you're like, I didn't care about that. I'm kind of invested in what's going on. This isn't as bad as that, but I kind of felt the same way. Whereas last episode, I was like, man, what's going on with these droids and everything? It's like, never mind, let's go back and do Alien again. How did you feel?
So you know what's so funny is I've been the most negative I think on all
Yeah.
these streams. I've complained a bunch about every episode, and
Yeah.
then right when this episode started, and I realized like, oh, we're doing the flashback. We're back on the
Yeah.
ship. I was dreading it, and then to be honest, this was my favorite episode so far.
Okay, I had a feeling you were gonna feel that way, and I had a feeling this is placed here where everyone who's like still kind of on the fence, they're like, you know what, we're doing a lot of weird shit. People might be on the fence at this point. If we haven't lost them, let's put a safe flashback episode that feels very alien, even if we have other aliens sprinkled in. This felt very safe, like plot wise. I'm like, okay, I think I know. They're trying to keep you around, Daniel. They don't want you to. They don't want you to jump off after this.
And what's funny is, I much prefer the interesting sci-fi stuff going on Earth to the horror alien stuff. But the thing is, I feel like they're just better at the horror alien stuff.
They are pretty good at it, even if the alien looks a little wonky in some parts. But we'll get to that. So yeah, we kind of mentioned in the first few episodes that, or the first episode, we joked about how it just skipped over the whole alien breaking out and killing the ship because we've seen it a million times. So I think it's funny that they actually circled back to it. They're like, hey, while we're here, let's just show you what happened. This to me felt like a sort of like a what if alien scenario. Because remember the first Alien, they said they can't take the face hugger off without like killing what was it, Ash, right? Here you get to see them actually try to take it off and it doesn't work. What did you think of like the captain's head just decapitated because the blood just soaked through it?
But
I'm sorry.
but this was also like, it was like redoing Alien, but also all the characters' IQs are just like half what they were in every other movie.
Yeah.
Like both of them, the medical staff are just absolutely so dumb.
Here's the twist of the episode. So we realized Morrow was. It's been weird with Morrow because it's like, is he a bad guy? I mean, he's working for Game Lieutenant, but did he pull any shenanigans? The way the first episode plays out, it makes it seem like he might have been responsible for everything. That is not the case. There is a saboteur. Oh, Kane. Sorry, I said Ash. I meant Kane. There's a saboteur on the ship. He gets woken up out of cryosleep. He finds out that two facehuggers got on one person, but they cut the tail off the other facehugger and it melted the captain's head off. Again, I've always wanted to see like what would happen if they tried to pull it off. They sort of did it in the Alien Romulus, but it like wasn't as cool as this. This is pretty awesome. So he knows there's a saboteur on ship, so that's kind of interesting. I know Ash wasn't really a saboteur in Alien; he was just kind of a plant. by the company, but it's like, hey, what if the crew just knew that there might have been a shady person on board the whole time? So we see a little bit of that. I will say the whole who done it aspect that doesn't really pay off super well. Did you have an idea of who the saboteur would be before it was eventually revealed?
No, because there was no setup in any way, right? It just turned out like there weren't even. Okay, wait. What's the deal with this guy Tang? Like,
Okay, I thought he was a robot, right?
yeah, I thought so too. I don't think he's a robot. He's just a really weird guy who knows everything that's going on for some reason.
Hold on, I gotta look up the cast thing here. His name is Tang, you said?
I think it was Tang, but I might have misheard slightly.
Oh, Tang. This just says a crew member on board. I really thought he was a robot this whole time. I swore they said that. Hold on, I'm double checking here.
So, like, for some reason, Tang knew that it was a guy in his cryopod.
Yeah.
Like, why did Tang know that? Why was he being so weird about it? Like, I have to say, the most satisfying death for me was when Tang died. I really felt like he deserved that.
Okay, I'm reading it here. He's a human. I literally spent this whole thing thinking he was a robot. Because they mentioned that he was, like, over her cryotube, and for some reason I was remembering, what was it, David and Prometheus was able to see people's dreams in their cryotube. I thought maybe it was something like that. No, he's just a weird guy. Now I'm on board with you. Because at first I was confused by his death. I'm like, why is he, like, screaming? Why is it going after him if he's a robot man? I'm like, oh no, he was just a fucking creep. Well, now I'm glad he's gone. That guy was weird. So yeah, the problem is, like, they're setting up red herrings. We find out that the captain, like, in charge now, the girl who's in charge, hold on, I had her name, Zavari. They kind of make it seem like maybe she was somewhat responsible because she was sleeping with the science officer? She was sleeping with the science officer, which is not allowed. So they set up her maybe being it, and then it turns out it's like, oh, it's just some guy who was sleeping in cryosleep. He's pretending to sleep. Just a guy. And it's like, oh, I didn't even know he was the suspect. I really wish you would have brought him up because I've been trying to figure out who the bad guy is the whole time. It's like, oh, it's just that guy over there.
And we didn't even know he existed, did we? Like, he was just a random character they picked.
He might have been in, like, the first episode. I don't know. So the saboteur reveal isn't that interesting, but what is interesting, Blake Cavalier was behind all of this. They did a good job. I genuinely thought in this series that this ship just crash landed and he got lucky. I didn't expect him to actually be responsible for it crashing. How did you feel about that reveal? Are you on board with it, or do you think it was a little too stupid?
I don't know. Like, I was slightly intrigued. I mean, from the beginning, I wondered if it was possible this was all planned, but I'm like, you know what? That's a pretty hard thing to do. So I figured, okay, this probably just was an accident. My issue is that it's the same issue I have with Blake Cavalier the whole time, which is he just doesn't actually seem capable of anything, despite the fact that he keeps pulling off incredible things. And so I just don't even even this felt haphazard. Like, there was just one guy, he's video conferencing with him while he's already on the ship and deciding to do this plan. Things feel unearned in this show, right? It just feels like it was really easy. Like, why was he even able to make a comm link? I guess he was the head of engineering, so he can figure out stuff. But, like, it feels too easy to pull off insanely difficult plans in this show.
Why would he delete that footage afterwards? Like,
well, they did delete it, but it got recovered. I also don't know how you don't just permanently delete it.
Yeah, he would know. Like, so spoiler, nothing's really deleted until you write over it. Even if it says it's deleted, you have to either format or write over it. He should have known to do that. Yeah, so I was intrigued that Boy Cavalier was in charge, but you're right, that is, he really is becoming like a Bond villain, whereas at first I just thought he was like, you know, your classic like Dr. Frankenstein, trying to do stuff he probably shouldn't, but now it's just like, oh no, he's just the bad guy. The lady who's in charge of the specimens, okay, there's one moment where the Zavari asks if she's the saboteur, and she goes no. And in my head, I'm like, technically she's not, but she has done so many things that she might as well be. She accidentally is participating.
Yeah.
So the leeches have this tube, and we saw it in the first episode. There's like that cylinder where they can drop things into it, and then there's another thing that you have to put on top to lock it. She just doesn't lock it. She just leaves it unlocked when it's supposed to be closed. So these things learn how to open it, and I love that the eyeball monster is studying how they're opening it. The eyeball monster is stealing the show, as far as I'm concerned. I love that it's looking like, oh shit, that's how you open the thing. Okay.
Well, and the eyeball monster was like warning her, right? Like as this leech thing went to like spit in her water, the eyeball keeps like banging on the glass to get her attention.
Because I guess, skipping ahead a little bit, I don't think the eyeball monster wants competition with other parasites. And I think we are learning every single thing, every single specimen we've seen has been a parasite. I think, did we see the plant have a little tentacle come out of it? Was that the plant or something else?
Yeah, I think so. And it was like going up against the glass, like following Morrow.
Yeah. So the leeches get out. They know it gets out. They see it on her sandwich. They're like, oh, leeches got out. Let's just put it back in. It's like, lock down everything. Don't leave that room. She's like, oh, yeah, like, I can't believe I left the lid on that thing. Anyway, let me just grab my water bottle, which also has the lid off of it. It, like, shot a bunch of freaking leech tadpoles into that thing.
That was so I felt revolted. Every episode I've been eating during it, and I'm like, why am I eating during this? It's so disgusting. But, like, if I saw a roach in my apartment, like, if I have food out, if I have a water out, I'm getting rid of everything. Like, just...
I'm in my sister's basement right now. I saw spiderweb earlier. I got rid of it. Oh yeah, I forget. Did I mention on stream? The internet's been going out at my house. That's why I'm currently at my sister's basement. Because it's the only place that I had internet. Luckily, my nieces had Alien things that I bought them, so I was still able to work Alien merch onto the show. Yeah, that lady should be responsible for everyone's death as far as I'm concerned. I don't think the Saboteur's plan would have worked so well if that lady didn't screw it up. So we have that, their ship is running out of fuel. So, okay, again, when it comes to, like, what Alien was trying to do, in the first movie they say, hey, why don't we just freeze him when the thing's on his head? Obviously, Ash doesn't want to do that because Ash kind of wants the thing to be birthed, although it probably would have helped the company better if they did just freeze it. But anyway, we learned that wouldn't work because they try to freeze him with the facehugger, and the facehugger's metabolism counters whatever cryo that they use. And I love that they just come back and there's just a hole through the freaking cryo tube, and the thing's just already gone. Also, really cool dream sequence when she's on top of the science officer's tube. She's, like, spraying dirt from Utah on him. I guess he brought dirt from home. Whatever. And, like, she's having a flashback to having sex with him, but then in her dream, she's imagining he has a face hugger on the whole time. That confused me at first. Like, wait, did it face hug him then? I'm like, oh, wait, no, I saw the footage. It didn't face hug him then. So, yeah, I like that we saw that. Like, oh, what happens if you try to freeze him? Oh, the alien will just get out. Freeze him won't work on it. But yeah, so we get aliens just running amok. And eventually we do get our original recipe alien running around. And again, when it comes to things that people might want to see in these movies, did you play Alien Isolation?
No.
Okay. You've seen footage of the game, though, I assume? You've seen, like, clips or whatever?
No. Sorry, Tony. I wish Gil were here, too. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Well, in that game, it's supposed to be a stealth game, but the alien does chase you around. So, you go back and you watch the original Alien. Maybe you don't watch a lot of old movies. You're like, let me watch the original. And you're like, oh, this is kind of stupid. It's just a guy in a suit. You don't really see the alien that well. And you'll probably think to yourself, what would it look like in the original Alien if you could see the alien in full detail and running around a brightly lit Nostromo? What would that look like? The answer is kind of silly. I don't know how you felt about the brightly lit alien just jumping around the walls and stuff here.
So what is it like? The alien in this episode really just looked like a guy in a suit running around. And I was going to ask you, what is it that just makes it look like a guy in a suit running around?
Well, here it's just brightly lit. They put it in way too many bright environments, which again, I think they're trying to just, because there was moments in the video game. I think this episode's really appealing to people who probably played Alien Isolation first and then went back to the first movie expecting it to look amazing, even though it does look amazing. But they're like, oh, why is it in the dark? I don't understand. But yeah, you're right. They picked some weird shots where they linger a little too much on the alien just walking around. So I don't know if you know this about practical alien suits. The actors' heads are in the neck of those suits. So that's why like their heads sometimes are just like looking off into the distance because the actor is literally looking straight ahead. Usually they film around it. I don't know why. The show seems to have fun filming the alien looking really wonky sometimes. But it did look really, really goofy seeing a brightly lit alien run around the set. A set that looks a lot like the 70s one. If it was any other environment, I think I'd be fine. But my mind just keeps going to the original and actually shows like how good the original is with keeping everything dark and creepy and not having a cartoony alien running around. Here's one thing that I did not expect to happen yet. We got Eyeball versus Xenomorph. How did you feel about Eyeball versus Xenomorph?
I loved it, and I loved that there was like they planted it earlier in the episode. I forget when, but yeah. I love that you could just see the Eyeball hates the Xenomorph. I love seeing the rivalries between these different species.
Dude, the Eyeball, you're right. I think the Eyeball was getting her attention to stop the leeches. The Eyeball doesn't like these other fucking monsters. Because it has the same agenda. It's like, oh, hey, I'm also trying to take over people's brains. Well, I don't like these guys. But yeah, the Eyeball goes into tires from space. And I love when he looked, because we haven't seen it in a human yet. I love, it looked like when I was pretending a few weeks ago with Big Eye. It looks terrifying, but so the Eyeball monster, it knocks out the girl, but didn't kill her, which I thought was interesting. Did you notice that? It just knocked her out and then left her alone. But the alien walks in. We find out in the first episode when she's banging on the door. It's like, why isn't the alien grabbing her? What's it doing? Why is it screaming? Turns out he was in a fight with the Eyeball monster the entire time. And I love, we've never seen, because it's inside a human, we've never seen a human jump on the Xenomorph and bite it. I was fucking dying at that fight scene.
Wait, does the Xenomorph have eyes? I can't remember.
No, it doesn't actually have the original Xenomorph, if you look, there is a skull, but it doesn't have eyes in the skull. Alien Covenant showed that it had alien vision with all squiggly lines, but it doesn't really have eyes. It's kind of assumed that it has like pheromones and psychic kind of stuff. So yeah, I think that's why the Eyeball alien was a little confused. Also, I don't think the Eyeball alien knew about the acid blood. Because it tries to bite his mouth, and I'm like, that's not going to go well for you. But also, the alien didn't know that it was an Eyeball alien, because it's stabbing the body, not realizing that that's not controlling it. How did you feel when the Eyeball just ran away during the fight?
Wait, is that what happened? The Eyeball just bailed?
Yeah, because I think the Eyeball, when he saw that there was a mouth and it was cornered, the Eyeball was like, oh, luckily it hit the neck first, so the Eyeball was like, I lost this fight, and just got the hell out of that thing and ran away.
By the way, Tony, I just want to remind you, were you supposed to make a pitch for Super Chats at the beginning with some funny alien line or something?
Yes, I actually pinned the tweet, or pinned the thing. In space, no one can hear you scream, but they can hear you Super Chat. It looks like we've gotten some Super Chats, especially one from Gil. I assume. Unless that's you. No, that's Gil. I see the G there.
It's not me.
But yeah, we'll get to the Super Chats at the end there, but thank you for reminding me. So yeah, I like that we've seen the beginning now with more context. Usually that kind of annoys me. It ruins the mystery. I think the whole episode was worth it for the Alien versus Eyeball fight. I kind of want the rematch. I've been saying that I want a good Alien versus Predator. I didn't know I was actually longing for Alien versus Eyeball Tentacle. And I'm like, what could the Eyeball Tentacle get into that could actually counter the Alien?
I was really hoping, I really thought it might end with having an alien, an eyeball infected alien. But I guess I knew that doesn't happen, right? Because we see the Xenomorph later, and it's not infected by the eyeball.
But also, I don't think it can happen because of the acid blood. I think eventually the Eyeball alien's like, oh no, I'm gonna get burnt if I try this.
By the way, so did they got all these aliens in space? Like, I thought they landed on some planet, but they make a comment about how they were able to survive the vacuum of space.
Yeah, that's okay. So they're being really, really like they're really like avoiding why they were sent on this mission, how they knew about these specimens, and where they came from. I don't know if they're saving that for like a reveal later, or maybe they just don't know and they don't care and they just said, fuck it, they found them in space, we'll deal with it another time, or we'll just never bring it up at all. So yeah, I'm not sure where they found all these, because usually when you find alien eggs, things go bad like right away. I don't know how they were able to get a bunch of eggs on board with nothing bad happening.
Especially this crew.
Yeah, especially this crew. Unless they like salvage it from like maybe there were like colonists that all got face hugged and they went, hey, I don't know. Yeah, I really want to know how they got these eggs. Was there a queen involved? I really want to know these things. But yeah, we also get to see a little bit of Morrow's past with his daughter. And they have a really good conversation, the two engineers, where he's just like, oh, what are you going to do with your share? Are you going to buy something nice for your wife? He's like, my wife was 31 when I left. She'll be a grandmother by the time I get back. That's why they pay us so well. And speaking of that scene, great fake out. So a guy drinks all the leech tadpoles. Spoiler, he ends up throwing up blood. They come out of him. I love the fake out where it's framed almost like the original Alien with the spotlight on the door, and you see you think it's a tail coming down, but it's just a regular chain. I'm like, all right, they're having. One thing I like about this movie, it's like having fun with people like me. They're like, hey, we know you expect it to go this way, but we're going to go this way instead. So that was really, really cool. I'm trying to think. Speaking of dumb people, them trying to pull the leeches off the guy's lungs and not wearing masks.
Yeah, I was going to say they don't even wear, like, even like an N95 mask or you're doing surgery, a surgical mask, like just anything.
Hold on, I just want to double check the original Alien here. Yes, they were wearing masks in the original Alien. They were wearing surgical gear and masks. Keep in mind, one of them was a robot. He technically didn't even need to wear a mask, but even he wore a mask. Yeah, this one, the guy's drinking alcohol. He's like, fuck it, let's pull this leech off his lung. It just shoots gas and kills everyone. I'm like, come on, man. Like, you guys are the worst scientists ever. But yeah, Morrow, we learn one of the reasons he's so slavishly devoted to Weyland-Yutani is one, he has no family. But we learned that the grandmother Yutani actually took him in and raised him. He mentioned saying that he had like a screwed up arm. She took him in. So I feel like that's why he has this crazy devotion to Weyland-Yutani. Whereas before, it's like, man, they couldn't be paying you that well. What did you think about that?
Yeah, I like that they built out his character a little more, and the fact that his daughter died, so he has like nobody, and he has like motivation. I did feel like I like that this episode built out his backstory. I empathize with him a little more. I get him more. He's more of a character. It felt a little, I don't know, forced. Like it was just sort of random. It felt like random memories inserted in this memory episode. Like it didn't feel natural. Like I don't know, unless I missed it, but it's like thematically his backstory wasn't really connected with what was happening on the ship. Like it just sort of felt jammed in there.
Yeah, it was kind of. It is funny that in our flashback episode we got a flashback. You can never have too much. I like where it's ending though, where he's just like, because Yutani's like, yeah, we're gonna do some arbitration with Boy Cavalier, and he's like, nope, you have to send me in to kill him, and she's like, yeah, give him whatever he wants. So I think my theory of the trailer showing a bunch of people coming out of the water, military gear, I think that's going to be his crew coming in to take care of, like, you know, the alien situation and to kill Cavalier. But again, yeah, I wonder how Cavalier even knew about this. Why did he decide to do this plan while doing this robot thing? And why did he... Was it intentional to crash the ship into his city? I guess that's to make him look innocent. Like, you wouldn't think he would do that, but...
Yeah, was the engineer, the head of engineering, did he originally have a plan to try to land it in the city? No, I mean, everything he did was basically turning it into a missile.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, we forgot, there is a gunfight in this. So if you ever watched the first Alien, you're like, where are all the guns? I like the second one. Well, guess what? You get guns in this, and it looks pretty stupid. I don't know why it looks so green screen when he killed him in that hallway, but then he's like, the monsters are out. Yeah, I don't know what his plan was. I think it was just to crash the ship. I guess he had an escape pod somewhere. Also, how do you fake being in cryosleep for that long? I assume someone's always awake, right? Or there's like a log.
I was wondering if you just had to lie there.
Yeah, just like someone that creepy guy's just standing over him, like, oh, he opened up his eyes. He's not asleep. How'd you find that out? Oh, I was creeping on him, staring at him.
Oh, wait, duh. That's why Tang knew, because he's creeping on that girl all the time, so he's always in the cryo room.
Oh, yeah. He's such a creep. I really want... Now I'm sad that he's dead. I really want to know more about him. Like, I really have spent this whole time thinking he was a robot, and it's blowing my mind that he's just a normal dude. Because now I can't explain away any of his creepy stuff. He wouldn't be able to be that creepy and get that job. Someone would have been like, oh, we're not putting you in space with a bunch of people. You're a problem. So I guess, I think we covered pretty much everything. Did anything stand out to you? Were you missing your favorite characters like Redhead Girl? Did you really want Redhead Girl in this?
Oh, yeah, what's going on with her pregnancy? I want to know.
Yeah. Were you upset that everyone on the ship had like somewhat normal hair? Were you missing ridiculous haircuts?
You know, I felt like something was missing. I didn't realize that's what it was.
I was actually thinking about it. I'm like, no one has an asshole haircut in this episode. It's like the only episode where everyone just looks just normal hair.
Ooh, I think we didn't talk about this scene. I really liked where the acting captain goes to talk to Mother. And she's just having that text conversation. I thought that was a cool, tense scene.
Yeah, that was good. Whatever. Yeah. I was thinking of the original, like when Ripley's and Mother trying to talk to him, and then like Ash appears behind her. Which is funny. What was that?
Oh, is that like an AI, basically, that the captain is talking to?
These days, yeah, I probably would assume it's an AI, but I don't know if those are just pre-recorded. Or maybe it is an AI based on what the company would want. But I always thought it was like a relay thing. But yeah, messages through deep space would take forever to get messages. They even mentioned that in Aliens. They say it takes 2 weeks to get an answer. So I guess that is an AI based on whatever the company wants. It'll just, whenever you ask it, it gives you an answer that's in line with the company. That's how I'm picturing it these days. I think we can go with that. I don't think anyone's going to push back on that. It always bothered me in Alien. How did Ash get into the Mother room with no one hearing? But now, thanks to this show, we know that there's a little hatch, like an escape pod hatch. So I'm like, oh, he could have been hiding in there. I'm trying to think anything else. I really liked this episode. It was fun. I do think it slows down the overall story. It's like, how did the aliens break out? I'm like, I didn't really care. I kind of enjoyed they skipped over it.
Well, yeah, it is funny. Like, there wasn't any mystery really to be resolved. Oh, okay, I guess now we know it was intentional, but that wasn't even a thing we were really wondering, right?
A little bit with Morrow. Morrow made things weird. Where we're like, was he responsible? Why is he so angry? I think we were wondering if someone sabotaged it. But yeah, all we really learned is a little bit about Morrow's past, how the ship crashed, and that Boy Cavalier is responsible for it. But we didn't really learn anything else. We did learn that Miss Yutani has guards with the most unfortunate helmets ever. Did you notice their helmets just had 2 big silver like rectangles hanging out of them? Like, that's super impractical. I don't know what that does to help you.
I thought they were cool. They were like samurais.
They would be, yeah. The rest of the helmet, fine. The fact that it was like 3 foot long, like rectangles at the side of their heads, I'm like, that looks cool in a fashion show. I don't know if I'd want it as my security detail. But yeah, overall, I think this episode is to help people like you stay on board with the show. But I also think it's fun for people like me who have seen this before. Like, hey, what if we got a more action-packed first Alien? What would that look like in the setting? So yeah, there's something in here for everyone, even if it is just slowing down the main story. I didn't get to see the preview for next week. Did they show anything interesting? Did you watch the preview for next week?
No. Gil and I never watch those. No spoilers.
Damn it. Okay, never mind then. Yeah, that's all I got to say. If you got nothing else to say, we do have a few super chats we can read if you're cool with that.
Let's do it.
All right. Kiryu Pilot 379 for 499 says, was really hoping they'd show what happened on the ship, and it was great. Zombie in the show was a crazy idea, but I'm loving it. So he says zombie. I think Guild said Octopus, and I'm just calling it Eye Monster. Kiryu Pilot again. I'm really digging the expansion of lore with the corporations of Earth getting major Murderbot Diaries vibes from it. Is Murderbot Diaries a thing?
I don't know what that is. Let's look it up.
I'm looking it up.
Oh, it's a book series.
Oh. Is it a TV?
Oh, they're making an Apple show about it.
Oh, no, they did. I forgot. This came out in May. I almost put it on my list for the wrap-up, and then I just didn't. Oh, yeah, it's got what's-his-face in it. I didn't know that was related. It's just called Murderbot, the TV show. Maybe I'll check it out then.
Yeah,
Here we go. Here we go. From his 5th vacation this year. One take for $5. Theory. Had to write smart characters. Instead, make characters dumb by default. So average IQ characters seem smart by comparison. Like Maro. Gil. Thank you, Gil. Kiryu Pilot again. Tony, have you tried playing Aliens Fireteam Elite? No, I have not played Fireteam Elite. There's another one. I have them downloaded, and I think they're multiplayer games, and I'm kind of over the online multiplayer stuff. I was never a big online multiplayer guy to begin with, and the horror games went all in on that stuff. Do you play any of that? Any, like, multiplayer game? Not that one specifically, but any online multiplayer stuff?
Not really.
That's fine. Don't start. It's annoying. What's so MD for $5? Hey, Tony, are we getting the Kroll review with Crystal? I would love to talk about Kroll. Kroll is great. Daniel, I feel like you would love the movie Kroll, and I'm not saying that ironically. I think you would love it. What's so MD for $5? Now we know how the Earth goes to hell. The leeches that replicate with hundreds and give off poisonous gas will decimate the planet. Not in this timeline. They mentioned in Alien Resurrection that Earth is a shithole, but this is too far out from that.
And how? I don't know how they're going to contain any of this stuff, though. Like, Moro was able to get off the ship. You'd think some of these leeches would get off the ship.
Yeah, they make it seem like they got everything off the ship, and now that we know how little those fucking things are, it's like, how would you get all of them? Luckily, I think what is going to save them is that right now they're just in that city, which I think is an island, and they're in that containment, that research area, which is also an island, which you can nuke. You can nuke both of those from orbit. It's the only way to be sure. Kiryu Pilot 379 for $199. You should, Tony. It's a fun read. I don't know if I'll read the book series, but I think I will check out that TV show.
Yeah, this is Hack the Movies, not Hack the Books.
Yeah, although I do compare things to books once in a while. The funniest thing recently is I did Carnosaur with Movie Dumpster, and I'm one of the few people who've actually read the original book, and I wanted to talk about the book to movie comparison because the movie totally ignores it. And they're like, yeah, we're going to do that with our friend C.B. Smith. So I had to sit the whole review, and I kept wanting to bring up stuff from the book, but I couldn't because they're doing a different video on it. Who's saying that it's not an answer? What the fuck, Tony? I don't know. Anyway, that is it for us.
Your Kroll response.
Oh, yes, I will do Kroll eventually. Give me time. Oh, hold on. Great job tonight, Daniel. Daniel's sandwich was good last week. Open-faced Daniel sandwich this week. Am I missing something? What is this?
You don't remember? I forget last week because I went in the middle on sharing my take. So Gil said it was a Daniel sandwich.
Right. Well, I'm glad you found an episode that you liked. Do you think the rest of the show will then get better, or you think this episode's just a fluke for you and it's going to go right back to the stuff you don't like?
I don't know. I'm feeling very positive because I even liked today's episode despite there was a lot of the font at the beginning and in the middle of the episode, and I still liked it. So I'm giving it I feel optimistic.
You know what? Now you have to stay on board because you know you're getting an Eyeball versus Alien rematch. There's no way they can end this without an Eyeball versus Alien rematch. And honestly, I'm all in on Eyeball. By the way, they're selling a Funko Pop of the goat with the eyeball coming out of its face.
Oh my god.
Which, by the way, was the fucking weirdest thing from this show to make, but okay.
I have to say, I mean, you can have, like, obviously you can have weird, different kinds of xenomorphs. If in one episode there's a xenomorph born that has human eyes, like normal eyes, I am going to be so excited.
You know what? I'm wearing a shirt right now. The closest thing we got was the weird baby alien from Resurrection. That's the closest thing we ever got to the aliens having actual eyeballs. The most we get is just eye sockets that are completely empty. But no, I like it. I like it. I continue to really like the show, even though every character on it is kind of an idiot. But that's fun to watch for me. But yeah, that is it from us. You have to plug One Take now. Gil said you had to plug One Take.
Yeah.
He texted me. He said, make sure he plugs it really well.
What the hell? I was going to plug it. All right, well, if you want to watch more film and TV analysis by somebody far smarter, eloquent, and more knowledgeable than me, check out One Take.
Yes, and if you're watching this on One Take, check out Hack Movies. Actually, Gil was on last week. We finally did the What is the Best 28 Days Later episode. I don't know if you got to see any of that episode, Daniel. It was really, really fun. We included Sandra Bullock's 28 Days, and we included a ripoff movie called 28 Months After, which is actually a retitled 2012 film. And normally those would have been like 1 or 2 minute long bits, but I'm an asshole, so I just properly reviewed both movies. So go back and watch that episode, especially since the 28 years later Bone Temple trailer comes out tomorrow. And keep watching us every week. At least me every week. It's hit or miss with these other two. At least me, I'll be here every week until I die or the show ends. So yeah, that'll be it from us. Goodbye, everyone. Have a great night.
Thank you, everybody.
Ending stream.